You ever send a text and immediately regret it? Like you hit send and your stomach drops and your brain goes, "Bro, why did you say it like that?" Maybe you over-explained. Maybe you sent 3 messages back to back when she hadn't even replied to the first one. Maybe you typed haha after something that wasn't even funny just to fill the silence. We've all done it. And here's the thing. It's not because you're weird or desperate. It's because nobody ever actually taught you how to text women the right way. They taught you to be nice. They told you to be sweet. They said, just be yourself. But nobody ever sat you down and said, "Bro, here's exactly what's killing your attraction through a screen." So that's what this video is. No fluff, no pickup artist nonsense. Just real, honest communication habits that will make your texts feel calm, confident, and genuinely magnetic. Let's get into it. Number 1. Stop over-explaining everything. This is the most common mistake, and it is silently destroying your vibe with women. You send one message, she takes a few hours to reply, and suddenly you're sending follow-up texts like you're filing a legal brief. "Hey, sorry if that was weird, I didn't mean it like that. Just in case you took it the wrong way. What I meant was, bro, stop, right now." Over-explaining is the textual equivalent of flinching. It signals that you are scared. Scared of being misunderstood. Scared of her pulling away. Scared that who you are isn't enough, as is. And women feel that through the screen. They don't even have to consciously analyze it. Their gut just says, this guy is nervous about my opinion of him. And nervousness about her opinion is the opposite of attractive. Here's the fix. Say it once. Say it clean. Say it and leave it there. If she misunderstood, she'll ask. If she didn't respond yet, she's busy or she's thinking. Either way, a follow-up panic message never helped anyone. Confidence sounds like one clean sentence. Insecurity sounds like a paragraph of damage control. Number 2. Stop texting like you have nothing else going on. She texts you at 2 p.m. You reply in 11 seconds. She sends a meme. You immediately heart it, reply with 3 messages, and ask a follow-up question. She takes 4 hours to answer. You reply instantly again. Bro, this pattern is telling her a story about your life. And the story is, I was sitting here waiting for you. Here's the truth. Women are not attracted to a man who revolves around them before they've even earned it. Availability is not a love language. It's actually a red flag. When you reply instantly every single time, she stops feeling like she has to meet you halfway. She stops feeling that pull, that little wondering of, I wonder what he's up to. That's important. That wondering is what keeps her engaged. You're not playing games. You're not ignoring her. You're just living your life and replying when it's actually natural to reply. Reply when you're free. When you're done at the gym. When you've finished what you were doing. That reply carries a completely different energy. It says, I have a life and I chose to reach out to you right now. That's not manipulation. That's just being a man with things going on. Number 3. Stop sending one-word replies, but also stop sending essays. Here's the sweet spot most guys never find. She asks how your day was. The cringe answer is good. That's a dead end. It goes nowhere. It communicates nothing. It makes her feel like pulling information out of you is work. But here's the other extreme. She asks how your day was, and you send a 7-sentence breakdown of your entire afternoon. What you ate, what you thought about, how your meeting went, and then a question at the end. And then another question because you panicked that the first one wasn't good enough. That's too much, too fast. The right answer is somewhere in the middle. It's warm without being thirsty. It's real without being a monologue. It gives her something to respond to without requiring her to sort through an essay. Example, instead of good, say, actually kind of wild. You know those days where everything moves too fast? That was today yours. Clean, conversational, leaves a thread open. She has something to respond to. You asked one simple question. That's how texting flows. Number 4. Use humor, but don't perform for her. A lot of guys confuse trying to make a girl laugh over text with being funny. They're not the same thing. Trying to make her laugh looks like this. You send a joke. She doesn't respond immediately. You send a follow-up explaining why it was funny. You add an emoji just to soften it. You end with lol to make sure it didn't land wrong. That is performing. That is dancing for approval. It is the text version of doing a trick and then looking up to see if everyone clapped. Real humor over text is effortless. It's a dry observation. It's something you noticed. It's a one-liner that you throw in and then leave alone. No explanation. No ha-ha after your own joke. No emoji, safety net. If it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Confidence means you're not waiting to see if she approved of you. And here's the thing. A line that doesn't land but was delivered with zero apology is still more attractive than a perfect joke delivered with nervous energy. Own your humor. Don't perform it. Number 5. Stop double and triple texting out of anxiety. She didn't reply. You send another message just to check in. She still didn't reply. You send something casual like anyway or haha, never mind. Bro, that's panic. That's visible panic. And she can read it clearly. Here's what she sees when you triple text. She sees a guy who got scared in the silence. She sees a guy whose confidence depends on her validation. She sees a guy who couldn't sit comfortably in the unknown for even a few hours. And none of that is attractive. Here's the rule. One message at a time. If she didn't reply, she didn't reply. She's busy, she's thinking, or she's not feeling the conversation right now. None of those situations require another message from you. None. The most attractive thing you can do when she goes quiet is to also go quiet, and not as a tactic, not as a game, but because you genuinely trust that you are worth replying to, because you genuinely have other things going on. When she comes back, and she usually does, you reply normally. No. Oh, so now you're responding. No passive aggression. Just calm, easy, consistent. That is emotional maturity. That is what she feels safe around. Number 6. Don't confess your feelings over text. This is a big one. And I know some of you have done this. You've been talking to a girl for a few weeks. Things feel good. And you decide the right moment to tell her you like her is through your phone screen at 11:30 on a Tuesday night. Bro, don't. Here's why. Confessing your feelings over text removes the stakes. It removes the moment. It takes something that should feel like electricity and turns it into a message she reads. Alone, while deciding how to word her response without hurting you, that is not connection. That is pressure. Real feelings should be expressed in real moments. Eye contact, proximity, energy, a voice. Those are the things that make it land. Over text, it almost always creates awkwardness. Not because she doesn't like you, but because now she has to manage your emotions through a screen, and that is uncomfortable. If you feel something, say it in person. Keep the texts light, fun, and forward-moving. Save the real moments for when you're actually in front of her. Number 7. Stop putting her on a pedestal through text. You can tell exactly how a guy sees a girl by how he texts her. And some of you, without realizing it, are texting women like they are doing you a favor by existing. You send good morning texts every single day, unprompted. You constantly tell her how pretty she is in every conversation. You reply to her stories with multiple messages. You start almost every conversation. You congratulate her for doing basically nothing, and she starts to feel less like a person you're interested in and more like a celebrity. You've given yourself the job of admiring. Here's the truth. When you put someone on a pedestal, you push them away, because you've made yourself the fan and her the star. And fans don't date their idols. They admire from a distance. Treat her like a human you genuinely enjoy. Tease her a little. Disagree when you actually disagree. Don't compliment her every single time you talk. Save compliments for moments where they actually mean something. That one authentic compliment after 3 real conversations hits 10 times harder than a daily compliment she's started to expect. Number 8. Let the conversation breathe. Not every text exchange needs to last 3 hours. Not every conversation needs to be brought back to life when it naturally ends. Some of the biggest attraction killers are the guys who keep a conversation going long past its natural ending point. She says, haha, yeah, for sure. You respond. She takes longer to reply. You respond again. She gives a one-word answer. You ask another question. She basically stops. You say, what are you up to later? Bro, she's done. Let it end. Conversations that end naturally at a high point leave her wanting more. She goes off thinking about the interaction on a good note. She associates you with that good feeling. But conversations that drag on until she's giving monosyllabic replies end with her feeling tired. She associates you with that drained feeling. Leave when it's good. That is the move. End the conversation first sometimes. Say, I'll let you get back to it and disappear while things are still good. That ending stays in her memory, and she'll be more excited to pick it back up next time. And the last one, this is the one most guys never think about, but it might be the most important of all. Number 9, your texts should feel like an extension of who you actually are. Here's the real problem. A lot of guys have completely different personalities in person versus over text. In real life, they're calm, funny, a little dry, and pretty chill. But over text, they're nervous, overgear, over-complimenting, and sending messages that feel nothing like the guy she met. She notices that she feels the gap. She starts to wonder which one is real. And the uncertainty doesn't create attraction. It creates confusion. The goal is to be consistent. Text the way you talk. Use the humor you'd actually use out loud. React the way you'd actually react in person. Don't morph into a more eager, more careful version of yourself just because there's a screen between you. When your texts match your real personality, she feels safe. She feels like she's getting the real you. And the real you, the grounded.com genuine version, that's what she's attracted to. You don't need to be clever. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Because consistency builds trust. And trust builds attraction. Every time. Look, texting is not just texting. It's the first impression she gets every single day. It's the version of you she's thinking about when you're not in the room. And if that version is needy, overager, or all over the place, that's the version she's associating with you. But when your texts are calm, real, a little unpredictable in the best way, and clearly coming from a man who has a life, she starts to feel something she can't quite explain. She starts looking forward to your name popping up. Not because you said something perfect, but because the energy behind every message feels right. That's what you're building. Not a perfect text game, a real presence, even through a screen. Drop a comment and tell me which one of these you've been guilty of. Because honestly, most of us have hit every single one at some point. No shame, that's how you learn. And if you want to take this further, if you want to know exactly how to read the signs she's already giving you that tell you she's interested. I made a video breaking down 7 signs a girl is attracted to you that she'll never actually say out loud. Trust me, if you've been texting someone, you're going to want to watch that one. Go check it out.